materials, and there is an area of industrial arts which makes use of a variety of materials. These materials include lumber, plywood, nails, screws, other types of fasteners, and other kinds of hardware accessories frequently used in making projects out of wood. It's a kind of wood that is sawn for commercial purposes. It is commonly used for structural and furniture purposes. Classifications of lumber. Rough lumber refers to undressed lumber. It is commonly used in various framing and scaffolding works. S4S lumber refers to lumbers dressed in four sides. Sliding wood board is a type of material installed on the exterior part of the building to protect the building from bad weather. Example, V-cut refers to the shape of the recesses visible on the face of a panel. This cut is the result of an angular beveled edge which creates a visible and distinct V-shaped recession in the face of the panel. Molding is an embellishment in strip form made of wood or other structural material used to decorate or finish a surface such as the wall of a room or building or the surface of a door or piece of furniture. Kinds of molding. Baseboard molding is a wooden board covering the lowest part of an interior wall. Its purpose is to cover the joint between the wall surface and the floor. Corner molding is a wooden board used to protect the edge of the wall at an outside corner or to cover a joint on an inside corner. Handrail is a wooden rail designed to be grasped by the hands so as to provide stability or support. Handrails are commonly used while ascending or descending stairways and escalators in order to prevent injurious falls. Handrails are typically supported by posts or mounted directly to walls. Dentil molding is a type of wooden trim that has blocks shaped like teeth. It is composed of tooth-shaped blocks of wood. Floorboards are long planks making up parts of wooden floor in a building. Examples: tongue and grooves are wooden planks in which adjacent boards are joined by means of interlocking ridges and grooves down their sides. They are commonly used for flooring. Wood tiles are any products manufactured from timber that are designed for flooring, either structural or aesthetic. Wood is a common choice as a flooring material and can come in various styles, colors, cuts, and arrangements. Veneer products refer to thin slices of wood and sometimes bark, usually thinner than 3 mm or 1/8 inch, glued onto core panels such as plywood, particle board, or plyboard to produce flat panels such as doors, tops, and panels for cabinets, parquet floors, ceiling, and partition wall. Examples: plywood is a type of strong, thin wooden board consisting of 2 or more layers glued and pressed together with the direction of the grain alternating and usually sold in sheets of 4 by 8 feet. Plyboard is a laminate made of thin layers of wood. Hardware accessories. Nails. The easiest way to join two pieces of wood is by fastening them with nails. Nails are commonly made of steel and have large flat heads and pointed ends. They come in different sizes and shapes. They are used for rough carpentry and packing case work. Kinds of nails. Common wire nail has a much larger head and diameter than nails. It is mostly used in carpentry work. Finishing nail. It is the thinnest of all nails and has the smallest head. This is used for finishing carpentry works like double interior walling, furniture, and cabinets. Concrete nail is a hardened steel nail that has a flat countersunk head and a tapered point. It is used for nailing various materials to concrete or masonry. Umbrella nail is used to fasten GI corrugated sheet on wooden purlins. Flat head nails have flat, wide, and round heads. They are used to fix sheet materials such as GI plain sheet or plywood, where the greater surface area of the head holds the sheet. Spikes. Nails measuring more than 6 inches. Screw is a short, slender, sharp-pointed metal pin with a raised helical thread running around it and a slotted head. It is used to join things together by being rotated so that they pierce on wood or other material and are held tightly in place. Kinds of screws. Wood screw is a metal screw with a sharp point designed to attach two pieces of wood together. Wood screws are commonly available with flat or Phillip head. A wooden screw generally has a partially unthreaded shank below the head. Metal screw is a kind of hardware supply which is used for tightening metal objects. This kind of fastener features a threaded shank along with a flat or rounded head. Tech screws are also called self-tapping fasteners or self-drilling screws. They have a very small carving at the end of their tips called a drill bit. The drill bit tip created a small hole by tapping before driving it. Lug screw has a hexagonal head and requires a wrench rather than a screwdriver to drive it in or unscrew it. Cup screw feature a hex drive at one end and a cup-shaped indentation at the other. It is commonly used set screw head style. The thin edge of the cup end digs into the contact surface for high holding power. Bolts is a long metal object that screws into a knot and is used to fasten things. Kinds of bolts. Machine bolt is a threaded fastener used with a nut for connecting metal parts having a thread diameter for about 1/4 inch or 6.4 mm or more and a square or hexagonal head for tightening by a wrench. Expansion bolt is a bolt that expands with tightened and requires no thread when inserted in the hole. Stud bolt is a bolt with threads on both ends designed to be screwed permanently into a fixed part at one end and to receive a nut on the other. Carriage bolt is a large bolt with a round head used chiefly for fixing wooden panels to masonry or to one another. Hinge is used to fasten two pieces of wood that are movable like window panels, doors, cabinets, trunks, chests, and boxes. Doorknob is a mechanism used to open or close a door. It has a bolt or spindle running through that sits just above a cylinder which a spindle is connected. Turning the knob pulls the cylinder into the direction of the turn. Barrel bolt is a rod-shaped bolt used for fastening a door or the light. It is attached to one side of the door at the edge and sliding into a socket on the frame of the opening. Hasp is a slotted hinge metal plate that forms part of a fastening for a door or lid and is fitted over a metal loop and secured by a pin or padlock. Cabinet handles are maybe made of metal, glass, or wood. They are fastened to doors and drawers of tables. Drawer slide is a kind of accessories that is fixed to the side of the drawer and the carcass of the drawer unit. The movement, which is in and out, is facilitated by ball bearing, ensuring that movement is smooth and noiseless. Mounting bracket is mounted on the wall vertically. Its horizontal arm is projecting outward for another element to be attached on top of it. There you have it, learners. Those are the different carpentry materials you need to familiarize. At this point, let us try to check your understanding from today's lesson. Please get your activity sheet in TLE Carpentry Exploratory Course and answer the given questions. Before we end, always remember that according to John F. Kennedy, things do not happen. Things are made to happen. This has been Teacher James saying continue learning and hashtag Shine Tango Stars.
You can have your flame-broiled Whopper made your way. We're proud to say we serve individuals, not billions.
Have you noticed something from the advertisement? If you think that it uses persuasive language to make you believe about something, you are right.
Exactly. That is our focus for today. You are expected to analyze the intention of words and expressions used in propaganda techniques.
Hi grade 8 learners! It's a wonderful day to learn another meaningful lesson in English 8. Still here in your one and only educational TV program, Ang Tangku.
Propaganda has actually existed as a method for any leaders and corporation to gain influence.
Some words have actually emotional appeal to their listeners to the point that they will accept something without analyzing it.
Let us have the following definitions to serve as your guide all throughout this lesson.
Propaganda is any persuasive technique, whether in print or electronic media, whose purpose is to influence your opinions, emotions, and attitudes.
Propaganda is a modern Latin word, ablative singular feminine of the gerundive form of propagare, meaning to spread or to propagate. Thus, propaganda means for that which is to be propagated. Originally, this word is derived from a new administrative body of the Catholic Church congregation created in 1622 as part of the Counter-Reformation called the Congregation de Propaganda Fide, or Congregation for Propagating the Faith, or informally simply, propaganda. Its activity was aimed at propagating the Catholic faith in non-Catholic countries.
From the 1790s, the term began being used also to refer to propaganda in secular activities. The term began taking a pejorative or negative connotation in the mid-19th century when it was used in the political sphere. There are actually different types of propaganda techniques. For this lesson, we will be learning 9 of them. The first one is bandwagon propaganda. As human beings, we have this innate desire to fit in, and that's exactly the kind of follow-the-herd mentality this technique follows. Bandwagon propaganda is all about persuading the target audience to take action. It's about creating an urge amongst people to become a part of the in crowd. To enforce such a feeling, advertisers typically use phrases like join the crowd or trending now for their products and services. For example,
everyone is using product X. Shouldn't you be using it too? This is America's favorite.
In the first example, notice the word everyone. It's a way of persuading people to use the product, as well as in the second example, because it is loved by America. Pretty smart for advertisers, isn't it?
The second one is card stocking propaganda. Now, this technique is perhaps most popularly used. It involves the deliberate omission of certain facts to fool the target audience. The term card stocking originates from gambling and occurs when players try to stack decks in their favor. A similar ideology is used by companies to make their products appear better than they actually are. Most brands use this propaganda technique to downplay unsavory details about their product and services. For instance, some companies may cleverly conceal hidden charges and only talk about the benefits of their products and services. For example,
Give your loved ones a bigger treat with 50% more. More cheese, more meat, more toppings.
The advertisement you watched is an example of card stocking because it uses a misleading and unapproved statistics to convince the audience to believe a fact. This advertisement states that the pizza gives 50% more, with 50% more meat and free 50% more cheese. However, the statistics are not possible to verify. There is no way that the customers will identify if the pizza has 50% more meat and more cheese. Therefore, the advertisement is card stocking, as it uses misleading and unprovable statistics to promote its product.
The third type of propaganda technique is plain fox propaganda. Have you ever noticed how some brands use ordinary folks to promote their products and services as opposed to celebrities? The ultimate goal here is to demonstrate how the product is meant for everybody and will provide value to everyone. This method is commonly used in the world of advertising as the general public has started to grow skeptical towards paid celebrity endorsements. Today, buyers are on the lookout for real experiences instead of glossy images portrayed on television. For example, in the example a while ago, JanSport uses ordinary people to advertise their product. If you were keen enough in taking a look at the ad a while ago, you will notice that an ordinary girl is shown and she is using the bag in her day-to-day activities. This will allow people to easily relate with the girl as it reflects their own daily lifestyle and also influence their decision-making.
The fourth one is testimonial propaganda. Testimonial propaganda is popular advertising technique that uses renowned or celebrity figures to endorse products and services. Now, in this case, when a famous person vouches for something, viewers are likely to take account of the credibility and popularity of that person. This establishes trust and boosts the credibility of that particular brand. Consequently, some brands may also use figures like doctors and engineers, basically experts, to promote their products and services. For example, celebrities such as Katy Perry with 58.4 million followers, Beyonce with 51.5 million followers, Leo Messi with 49.3 million followers, Pitbull with 38.6 followers, Nicki Minaj with 34.5 followers, and 50 Cent with 33 billion followers on Facebook and Twitters help soda companies such as Pepsi reach millions. Companies know the power of celebrity endorsements because of their influence.
The fifth propaganda technique is glittering generalities propaganda. Glittering generalities is a propaganda technique where propagandists use emotional appeal or and vague statements to influence the audience. Advertising agencies thus use a phrase like as inspiring you from within or to kickstart your day to create positive anecdotes. This makes the product look more appealing, resulting in better sales. For better effect, brands may use hyperboles, metaphors, or lyrical phrases to attract more attention. For example,
Creamy, dreamy, icy, chocolatey.
the words creamy, dreamy, icy, and chocolatey are used to emotionally appeal to the customers. These words definitely attract the customers to the delicious-looking iced cafe mocha.
The sixth one is the name-calling propaganda. Now, this type of propaganda uses a completely opposite approach to glittering generalities. As the name suggests, this propaganda technique involves using derogatory phrases to create a negative opinion about someone or some other brand. Consequently, the brand may also speak negatively about an idea. For instance, a company that sells plant-based products may talk about how inhumane it is to kill animals. For this purpose, they may criticize fast food chains businesses. Here is an example of name-calling.
Don't get a rotten apple. Trust what's inside
Android.
This Android advertisement wants to communicate with its customers that whatever features Apple offers is useless. Only Android is trustworthy. The ad implies that the decision is yours, whether you want to buy a costly rotten Apple or go with an affordable Android.
The seventh type of propaganda technique is transfer propaganda. This type of propaganda uses a technique to project certain qualities. This can either be positive or negative of a person, ideology, or object to other things and people. This kind of propaganda uses many different symbols to achieve a favorable outcome. For example, Apple's Think Different campaign. It used Alfred Hitchcock, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and others to associate using their computers to people who changed the world. Many of these people were not even alive when computers were invented. Another example, using the American flag to associate buying a product with patriotic deed.
The second to the last is red herring. A red herring is a fallacy argument that distracts from the original topic. Some may refer to this type of argument as a smokescreen. Red herrings are frequently used in mystery, thriller, and dramatic novels, political speeches, children's conversation with their parents, business announcements, government information releases, and controversial conversations. For example, what do you think about your company's new environmental policy?
Well, the company is making great progress in product development that we hope will help our customers.
This is an example of red herring in general, and of the red herring fallacy in particular, since the executive respond to the question using irrelevant information in an attempt to evade it and distract listeners.
The ninth and last propaganda technique for today is loaded words. Loaded words, also known as weasel words, are words that are very descriptive and filled with emotion. These words are used to capture the consumer's attention and influence their actions. They can be used in both a positive and negative way and appear in all sorts of advertisements. Using words with strong positive or negative connotations or associations, these words make you feel a certain way. Use loaded words like new, improved, and bests. Use of words that will make people feel strongly about something. For example, hate and love. Another example of advertisement that uses loaded words is Avonny, The King's Return, Battle of Avonny. This ad uses powerful images with only a few words, but they are powerful. The ad builds to a battle scene. These words and phrases were used. Brave fellows, your country is at stake. Fight for liberty. Ready, charge. Let your reign begin. The use of high inference language in advertisement helps to promote people or products. These words can arouse strong reactions.
Alright, now that you already know the words and expressions used in propaganda techniques, it is now your time to show us what you learned from this lesson. Grab your pen and your activity sheet in English, read the directions, and do what is asked of you.
Activity, fill me up. Directions, cut out 2 magazine ads or select 2 radio or TV ads. Analyze the ads you have selected using the form below. Fill out the form per advertisement. Always remember that the knowledge you get in English helps you become a global citizen capable of conquering the world.
Stay tuned for English 9 and another TLE lesson.
This has been Mama Halia
And Ma'am Pinky,
your English teacher, is still here in your one and only educational TV program,
Ang Tangkub!
Goodbye!
Hello, grade 8 learners! Welcome to another learning episode of Ang Tangkub TV-based instruction. I am Teacher James, your teacher in TLE Computer Hardware Servicing Exploratory course. For today's lesson, we will discuss proper tool selection. A tool is a handheld device that aids in accomplishing a task. Tools range from a traditional metal cutting part of a machine to an element of a computer program that activates and controls a particular function. Preparing for the task to be undertaken includes proper tool selection. Here are the things you need to bear in mind when it comes to tool selection. Things you need to bear in mind when it comes to tool selection. 1. How do you select the best tool for the job? First, know and understand in detail the scope of work to be accomplished. Second, plan for the scope taking into account the sequence of tasks. Next, selecting the best tool for each task requires training in the proper use of the tools, field experience in their safe use, and following the manufacturer's guidance and instructions for that specific tool. And lastly, when obtaining the tool, all the associated tooling and consumable parts, as recommended by the manufacturer, must be included. In addition, related consumable parts must also be selected and used according to their manufacturer's instructions. Safe use of tools. Once selected, use the tool for the purpose for which it was designed. Not all tools come with detailed instructions, but there are those that spell out the safety, such as the do's and don'ts. If there are setup or use of options, operator's judgment must always be based on what is the safest way to use the tool. Environmental safety and health program requires the following. All tools be kept in good condition with regular maintenance. The right tool be used for the job. Each tool be examined before use and damaged or defective tools not to be used. Tools be operated according to manufacturer's instructions. The right protective equipment for the tool and activity be used. There you have it, learners. Those are the things you need to bear in mind when it comes to proper tool selection. This time, let us try to check your understanding from today's lesson. Please get your activity sheet and TLE Computer Hardware Servicing Exploratory course and answer the given questions. Before we end, always remember that according to Marshall McLuhan, we become what we behold. We shape our tools and then our tools shape us. This has been Teacher James saying continue learning and hashtag Shine Tangub Stars.
It's good to see you again, grade 9 learners! Before we dig into our lesson, let us make an attempt to unlock what is implied in each box by the following rebus puzzle.
A rebus is a picture representation of a name, work, or phrase. Each rebus puzzle portrays a common word or phrase.
Now, let's have a brain exercise. Are you ready, mamahal?
Yes.
Let's start! The first puzzle is this one. So, what do you think is the answer?
Since the word head is over the word heels, the phrase that we are looking for is head over heels.
Wow! You got it right! Now, it's my turn to answer.
How about this rebus puzzle?
Well, the answer is first aid, since the arrow is pointing to the first word, aid.
That's correct. This time, it's your turn, learners. Can you guess the answer to this one? We're actually looking for a two-word answer. You're right. The correct answer is social distancing.
How do you find the activity? Do you find it exciting? Did the rebus puzzle stimulate your mind to think about the answer? Well, this is just one of the activities as you go through to this lesson.
Much of the information that comes around us is a combination of both text and images. It is vital that you process information in all forms.
However, in this digital age, there are so many forms of visual text to consider. This can be presented in billboards, drawings, photographs, videos, memes, digital stories, video games, timelines, signs, cartoon caricatures, posters, flyers, and even in social media, which have now become a common platform of expressing ourselves and sending messages to anyone. Thus, enhancing your visual literacy should be processed appropriately.
Today, your task is to determine and interpret the message conveyed from a material viewed through visual analysis. So, why is visual literacy important? Considering how visually oriented we are as humans, it is no surprise that visual images have a powerful impact on us. Research shows that there are a wide range of benefits derived from improved visual literacy, including the following. First, visual information is more memorable. Studies show that we retain approximately 10 to 20% of written or spoken information, but around 65% of information when it is presented visually. The second one is visual information is transferred faster. Information presented visually is processed extremely quickly by the brain. Around 90% of the information transmitted to the brain is visual in nature. Third one, visual information helps us communicate with the world around us. Visual literacy involves similar processes of interpreting images and creating images. In a fast-moving world with ever-increasing diagnosis of attention deficit disorders, we increasingly rely on images to quickly convey meaning. Fourth, visual information enriches understanding. Images can greatly enrich our understanding of a text or other media, but to be able to interact with these deeper levels of meaning, we must possess the necessary skills to access those depths. Fifth, visual information increases enjoyment. Not only does increased visual literacy enrich our understanding of the media we consume, but it can also enrich our enjoyment too, especially in visual art. Sixth and the last one, visual information